Good morning. This is definitely a last minute decision. I had just posted this morning that I couldn't go live tonight because today is just bananas. It didn't sit right with me. I kind of really wanted to. So I thought, okay, I'll try and fit one in the morning. I know daytime's not always the best for people, but this works for me today. So here I am with my cup of tea. Hello, Mary Lynn. Thanks for dropping in. Hello, Karen. Thanks for dropping by. Good morning, Angela. How are you? I have to tell you, it is cool here. We got very, very close to a frost last night. Very close. I'm drinking Golden Dragon this morning. It is so good. And I just realized I have to add to my to-do list. I need to update my thank you page there at the beginning of the because I know I have some new members and some that aren't anymore. So I gotta get that updated. So that's gonna have to go on the to-do list. My to-do list has a to-do list. Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I have changed mine to 8 p.m. my time. So hopefully we won't be competing, and I can watch your lives too now. So because I won't be doing my own, but I usually go 8 p.m. But today is Aiden's first cross country meet of the season. Good morning, Tana. Good drying weather. Yeah, it's beautiful. Once it warms up a bit more, but I love fall weather, so I'm okay. But yeah, Aiden has his first cross country meet this evening, and by the time we get him from that, it'll be evening, and then our Buy Nothing groups, which I've talked about before in some of my videos. I love our Buy Nothing group. They're all over Canada, United States, or in all kinds of countries now, actually. And I've given away so many things. Yesterday, I just gave away all bunch of books that Aiden had outgrown: Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Dog Man, Captain Underpants, all hardcovers, the whole series. And a teacher got them for her classroom, which I am very happy about. But anyway, there was a lady who posted that she no longer needed her big chest freezer because she wasn't feeding her dogs raw diet anymore. And she's in an apartment. She was looking for an apartment size freezer. Well, we have an apartment size stand up that is basically useless to us. I kept some of my fruit in it, my frozen fruit, but that was about it. So I reached out to her and showed her a picture. So we're doing an even swap tonight. So that was happening this evening too. And there was no way I was going to be able to fit in a live with all that going on today. So in between I actually was just over on Ashley's CNC Farm chatting with her during her live. And I said I had to go because I had to start my to-do list. Well, I got 4 things done off my to-do list. So then I thought, I'm going to go live real quick this morning. So that's what I'm doing. Thank you. Yeah, he's always nervous when we get the first one out, and then we'll be doing that. So good morning, Jamie. I am doing okay. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. And I'm going to admit it's okay. It's not great or anything because I have not been sleeping. Insomnia has been hitting me hard. Just not sleeping good at all. And one of those reasons is because of how overwhelmed I am feeling right now, because there's still so much to get done before it really, really gets cold. And I'm burning out big time from gardening and everything. A lot of my garden is done. I'm actually going to go out and harvest all my yellow beans here after this chat. I planted them for fall, and I think I actually have enough I can actually can today. So I'm going to get them done. But I've pulled all the pepper plants. I pulled all the tomato plants. I picked everything I could, and they're all ripening on the table behind me. Every few days, I throw a few more tomatoes in the freezer, and I chop up some more peppers and freeze them. But yeah, Annie from Back to Basics Homestead last Sunday. She was talking a lot about burnout and trying to figure out what she's even doing. I know it seems funny to be talking about next year, but I am thinking about it too. I'm definitely changing quite a few things. And I think part of my problem is I know we aren't staying here much longer. God willing, we'll be out of here in 2 years when Aiden graduates. Worst case scenario. So I'm kind of in that stage where I don't want to do too much more. That's definitely permanent because we're not going to be here. So that's kind of got me a little, I don't know. I don't want to say down, but it's got me like, in that kind of, oh, what do? I don't want to do this stuff. And anyway, Jamie, mine are all green. I just bring them in the house and they'll ripen. So, so yeah, I'm at that stage, and that's going on through my mind a lot, about just how overwhelmed I am. I got to put the garden to bed. I have to plant my garlic, which I ordered from In My Gardener, and I just got an email yesterday. It's on its way. So I'm so excited. I'm trying new varieties this year. We have to get the garden bed ready for the garlic and clean up. And we did get the chicken coop all cleaned out and started our winterizing for that. And for us, all that is we just start the deep litter method for the chickens. But yeah, I'm definitely very overwhelmed. My to-do list has to-do list. And I'm a list person, and I've just been putting like a star next to the things that we have to get done, but there's still so much we need to get done inside the house, outside the house. And it's so hard when you only have weekends to do a lot of it, because some stuff I need David's help to do, right? So, but we're slowly getting through it one day at a time. And I don't want to sound like I'm complaining and moaning and everything, but I'm tired. The other thing that's been keeping me up is we had to have a whole lot of work done to our Jeep last week, more than we thought. And it's paid for, so we want to put the work into the Jeep because we do not want another car payment. Both our cars are paid off. And my car, of course, has to go in and get a few things done now, too. But there were some things to the Jeep that we knew about and some we didn't. So that has been a bit depressing and worrisome, because that was quite a big bill that we'll be paying off for a few months. So there was that. The other thing, too, that kind of has me down this week is Dave and I made the decision over the weekend. We are not going to the Homesteading Festival next month in Bracebridge, Ontario, and we were really looking forward to it. And I'm really disappointed in some ways, and I'm kind of relieved in others, because David actually has to go part-time next month. Hopefully it's just for the month. Then he'll go back full-time for a few months, and then he'll have to go part-time again for a couple of months. It's the way the system works here with his military pension and everything. It's ridiculous, and I won't get into that right now. But anyway, basically they punish people for wanting to work is what it is. And I was kind of feeling guilty about, spending the money for a hotel and going there and everything, even if it was only one night and just him and I, where he's going to be part-time. I was worried about that. But the other part is, and I do not begrudge anybody for wanting to make some money or whatever. And I had no problem paying the entrance fee into the Homesteading Festival at all. I had no problem with that. It really wasn't that bad. But they're charging for a lot of their seminars that people have volunteered to give. And I don't understand that, because if you're volunteering, how are you charging for them? But whatever, they're entitled to it. I really don't. But some of the seminars are kind of ka-ching for both of us to go. There's one that would be like $160 for the two of us to go, and it's about canning. And I am by no mean an expert, but I don't need to take a $160 class for David and I to listen to canning. I just don't. And a lot of the other things are things either we're not interested in, or it's things we already have learned or know or whatever. It seems to be almost like people who want a homestead. That's what this kind of thing seems to be about. It doesn't seem to be so much about people who are already homesteading, if that makes sense. So I thought, why are we going to spend the gas? It's a 3-hour drive, spend a hotel, which is not cheap anymore, spend money on, getting in. And basically I just be spending money to spend money shopping around the vendors. So it doesn't make any sense to go. So we're not going. A little disappointed, a little relieved. I have mixed feelings, but yeah, that's, hi, Ashley. I just mentioned how I was just over chatting on your live, and I said I had to go, and I got 4 things off my to-do list, and then I thought, you know what, I don't feel right about having to cancel my live this evening, so I'm going to do a pop-up live this morning. So thank you for the inspiration. Hello, Homestead in the Wood with D. Thank you for dropping by this morning. Actually, there's more people in here than I thought there would be. So, yeah, I mean, I know. And, I've always believed if it doesn't feel right, don't do it. And Dave and I were talking, and he's like, nah. And I'm sure, I mean, it might be a great time and stuff, but it's not what we thought. Right. And I don't want to spend all that money to be disappointed. So, yeah. So, and there's still so much to do to even take a weekend away from our to-do list, and now I don't have to worry about Aiden saying he can't work those 2 days because he wouldn't have a ride. That was really bothering me because he hasn't been getting a lot of shifts at all. We're really hoping that's going to change. I mean, he got one shift this week, Friday. He doesn't work again till Friday, and that's all he has. So I hope it picks up. I really do. It definitely is a real thing, Dave. And I know lots and lots and lots of people have talked about this. And I've certainly felt tired after the season, but this year it feels different to me. And the new garden bill definitely helped, but yeah, I'm changing my whole way of thinking about a lot of things, and I'm not going to feel guilty if I buy something from a farmer versus growing it myself. I had a lot of guilt about things like that, and I'm not going to do that anymore. There's still going to be things I'm going to grow, but I'm going to definitely, and I'll be talking about that later on, probably in the new year, because I'm still working out my plan, but I'm definitely going to be planning to do things a little bit different next year. So thank you. That is my pug. Again, we have a pug. For those of you who don't know, we have a black pug, which is very hard to find things. Though I did get a new tea steeper that's a black pug. I was so excited to find that. But I love that mug. And it's really cute because at the bottom it says pumpkin pug at the bottom of the mug when you're done. So, yeah, I just, I don't mind if it's like, because I mean, Dave and I are really looking forward to going away for the day and a half and having a good time. So, but yeah, it just doesn't feel right. Right. Yeah. And, I laugh because people say slow down in the winter when in reality, I don't really slow down a whole lot more. I mean, I certainly won't be gardening every day and I won't be canning or preserving something every day. I still can in the winter, but yeah, and we have this pig order coming, so I'm so grateful we're getting this new to us freezer that we're doing the even swap for, because we need the freezer space. We are running out of freezer space, and it's a good problem to have. Believe me, I do not. I don't want to complain about having the amount of food we have, but we're running out of space for all that food. So, and that's gonna. I'll just give you a little tease. I have another open collab that I'm going to be hosting in February, something that David and I are going to do anyway. And I thought, you know what, let's do another open one. So that's going to be coming. I'll be announcing that probably December, January-ish. So keep your ear out for that. It's going to be a good one. We've done this before. We haven't done it the last couple of years, and I want to do it again. And it's definitely something that will be nice to have other people doing it, because you're going to probably need a little bit of motivation to keep going. And that's all I'll say. Good morning. Listening while I do dishes. That's fine. Thank you so much. This has no caffeine. So this is no caffeine, but I had 2 cups of caffeine coffee this morning, or tea. Coffee. I don't even drink coffee. Tea, and I needed it. So, yes, so that's the other thing I want to say. Stock It September. Wow. It has been so much more successful than I ever dreamed. Right now, there's over 100 channels / videos for it right now. And when you type in Stock It September, the first thing that comes up, at least for me now, is no longer stocks and bonds and investing. So we did it. I think we did a lot of, because there's so many of us, we're taking over the stock, the hashtag with the stock. So we'll definitely be doing this. I plan on doing this as an annual thing. I really do, every September. So I am so excited. I actually have to film I got my this week's yesterday. for the pantry, and I have to film that. So I am just so tickled pink. I mean, that's an old expression, isn't it? But I am just so happy. So many of you have joined, and the inspiration and the comments I'm getting about how they're so happy I opened this, and it's been, they've been able to fill their pantry every week, and just the inspiration of getting it done. That's why I did this. As you all know, I'm pretty passionate about my pantry or my store, as we call it. Just stocking up or being prepared. I'm pretty passionate about it. And to see so many people jumping on board, it's just been the best. So we still have 2 weeks left, technically, because there's 5 Fridays in September. So my week 4 video will be out Friday. And I actually have a video coming out this afternoon at 2:00 Eastern time. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, it's not going to be a huge long live. I'm definitely going to try and stay at least for the half hour, because my to-do list is quite long today, and I have more laundry to get done. So yeah, there you go. That's absolutely. I think I like doing them because, I mean, it does help you get your channel out there. Let's be honest, it does. But it also helps give you ideas to have a video and to see what everyone else is doing. I love them. Absolutely love them. And I will say it has nothing to do with exercising. So that's not the motivation. Don't worry about that. It won't be anything like that. So, but it's something we did a couple years ago, and we did it a couple years in a row. On just regular social media. It was before I even had my YouTube channel, and we're going to do it again. And even Grace is going to join us doing it, she said, this year. So I figure if I'm going to do it, maybe I'll make it an open collab. So I have no more collab ideas for the rest of the year, which is probably that's not true. There are a couple floating around in my head, but I'm also joining a couple, and this is going to start getting busy with the holidays and everything. So we will hopefully be busy with the holidays. Or not too busy, I should say. Exactly. No. Good morning, Sherry. Thanks for dropping in. My mom's name is Sherry. She spells it different, but her name is Sherry. Thank you. Yes. Please hit that thumbs up button. Annette, I'm so happy. Yes, I guess it is evening for you. Annette is a homesteader in Australia who joined the Stock It September challenge, and I love being able to see what she gets for her $10 and the different things that she gets in Australia. And I see that you just put up one today, which I just added to the playlist while I was waiting for my live to start, and I'll go watch it. I seen there was a couple that got posted in the last few hours, so I've been adding to the playlist. So make sure I share the playlist on my Stock It September video every Friday, so you can go check it all out. So go get the tractor out and harvest peanuts. Have a good day, Dave. That's so cool that you grow peanuts. I am very close to 5K. I've also been busy garnering prizes, because I was going to do a giveaway for 2,000 and then 3,000 and then 4,000, and then I thought, okay, I'll do one for 4,500. Now I'm so close to 5,000. I was hoping to do a live with a giveaway at the end of the month. I think now we're going to be in October, especially now that I know we're not going away for the Homesteading Festival. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be amazing. I've been collecting some amazing prizes to give away. At least I think they're amazing. So not pumpkin spice November. I like pumpkin spice. So, oh my gosh, Sherry. I'm from Maine. I mean, you might know that, but I'm originally from Maine. My mom's actually in Maine right now. My mom, Sherry, visiting from Florida for 1 more week. And boy, am I Maine sick. I am so homesick for Maine. It's been a while since we've been back down east. That's where we're planning to move back to. We're planning to move back to New Brunswick. Hopefully, like I said, God willing, in the next 2 years. So that is so cool coming from Maine. Is it cool there this morning? I know Mom was saying it was cool in the morning. So I'm behind. Oh, I'm watching them. I'm doing really good. I try to watch them very quickly so I can get in there, make my comments, and support everybody because I feel it's the least I can do if I'm hosting this collab. So, good morning, Patina. Thanks for coming. I want to do a giveaway. I know they really are, and that's why I won't be doing maybe as many as I would like because we're not rich by any means, and shipping for us is insane. Even to ship within Canada, sometimes it's cheaper for me. I shouldn't say sometimes. It's cheaper for me to mail prizes and things to the States than it is right within Canada. It's ridiculous. So, yeah, no, it is. It is until we get closer to December and then everything's peppermint, which most, I don't mind peppermint, but most of my family does not like it. So we do need to come up with another thing that's not pumpkin spice and that's not peppermint. Now you're going to have my brain wheeling here. 55 degrees. Yeah, we were, when I got up this morning, I think it said it was 34. Like, I mean, we got really close to a frost that last night. Yeah. Not a fan of mocha. Not a fan of it. I've just never, I wish I liked it, but I'm not a fan of it at all. So, yeah. It's great to see. It's interesting to see what others get in different countries. Oh, see, and that that is why I did it. I'm so happy. I mean, and I think people sometimes think they have to spend, so much money to start stocking their pantries, and you have to start somewhere. And not everybody, at least in my circle and in our family, they do not have like an extra $500 to just go start stocking the pantry. So I think this is above all else, and I know it's harder nowadays. I know next year, gosh, we might have to say $20 a week at the way things are going, but you can get things for $10. You really can. So, I'm so happy, and it's been wonderful having you join. I'm so happy we had you join. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Oh, Jamie, now yes, caramel we love, and the kids miss it because they have braces right now, so they can't eat it. But my favorite is salted caramel. Oh, that is a weakness of mine. I love salted caramel. In North Kawartha, I'm like, oh wow, yeah. I was like, oh, did we have a frost last night? And I went running out and I couldn't see, it didn't look like it, but we had to get pretty darn close. I mean, the only thing I have to go out and get my crookneck squashes. I was hoping to give them to make them bigger. I don't think they're going to get much bigger, and I rather pull them than have them get frost damage. But my carrots are growing amazing, but I want them to go through a frost. Like, I want them to go through a frost so I can, they'll be sweeter. And I planted them specifically for them to be harvested in the fall. My yellow beans, I'll probably get the rest of them today. We'll see if they can withstand a light frost. So we'll see if I get more out of that. I went and harvested most of my herbs the other day. So I've got herbs drying everywhere in the dehydrators and on my drying racks everywhere. I'm trying to think what else is left. Like I said, I pulled all the tomatoes. Oh, my corn. It's my fault that I planted, oh my gosh, the name just went into my head, but it's a jewel colored corn. It was so pretty in the picture. It's not doing, it's doing great. It's just not getting big enough to harvest. And I know why, because I planted all those sunflowers in front of it, and I think it's blocked most of the sun that they've needed. So like I said, I'll be changing some things next year on what I'm doing. I wasn't thinking. I think I thought the corn would get taller than the sunflowers, but it got tall, but not tall enough. So I think that's part of the problem. So I don't know if I'll be harvesting any corn at all, which is kind of disappointing. I want to be able to at least save the seeds so I can try and grow them again next year. So yeah, I'm just not I'm shopping at the Dollar Tree, pick up staples like canned goods, noodles, candles for exact. Yep. No, my son works at Dollar Tree here. And I don't know, is the Dollar Tree had an increase in the States? They did have an increase here. Quite a few things are jumping to $2. We've been $1.50 for years. We were $1.25 when they first opened here in Canada. We were never $1. I mean, there were some things that were $1, but for the most part, the majority. I don't mind that they've gone up a bit to $2 because I've noticed they've really upped their game in the quality of a lot of the things they're carrying too. So they're still cheaper than most every place else. But I was just curious if they've gone up in the States at all, if you all are seeing a jump. Got down to 42. That's close. That's close. Yeah. Oh, I love caramel. Love it. Heading into spring here. Yes, I remember my husband actually, when he was still full-time military, he's reserve now. He retired after 30 years, 2 years ago. He spent a whole month in Sydney, Australia. The whole month he was there. And he was there September, the whole month of September. Yes, because he missed his birthday here. And he was like, David hates the heat. Like he suffers terribly from heat. He's always hot. Just always. He's actually going to get a checkup because he just wants to make sure because we'll be all like shivering. And he's like, are you guys like pranking me? And I'm like, no, David, it's cold. Anyway, he found it very, very hot. He was so grateful he wasn't there in your summer because he says he doesn't know what he would have done. Yeah. Which is funny is because we did not have our first frost is predicted for October 7th, I think, is what they said. And I'm like, October 7th is still a little ways away, but I don't know. It's been pretty close. Pretty close. $1.25. Yeah, so we've been $1.50, and like I said, some things have gone up to $1.50, or sorry, $2. So you too, Tracy. Have a great week. We'll talk soon. In my area, some herbs driving 3 eggplant left, but we have about another month before frost. Yeah, we only have less than 3 weeks, so I've pulled all my tomato plants and my peppers, whatever I got. I mean, I have so many tomatoes in my freezer right now. So many. I did use some fresh, and I filmed what I made, and I haven't edited it yet because I'm debating about whether to share it. I think I'm going to share it because it was kind of a fail, but not a fail, if that makes any sense. I think I'm still going to share it because it was a new to me recipe. And when I find something new, I'm excited to share it with you all. So I think so you'll probably see that next week. I'm going to make more of what I made just because it was a fail, but not a fail. So we'll see. But I have used a few bags or a few tomatoes that were fresh. But for the most part, I think at last count, the really big Ziploc freezer bags, I think there's 12 in my freezer right now. And I just added 2 more this morning because more of my tomatoes were ripe enough. So good morning, Darren. How are you all? I know Darren's been busy with tomatoes and Nope, I have way more than 3. I put them there until there's a bunch of reasons I do it because I never can get enough at one time to make, when I make whatever I'm going to make, I want to kind of get it all done with that day and canned. But I love how easy the skins come off when you freeze tomatoes. Run it under a little bit of water and those skins pop off like easy peasy. So I definitely like freezing them. David and I can't eat the skins. They really cause acid reflux really, really bad, like painful. Thought I was going to have to go to the ER kind of bad. So yeah. And I wasn't going to grow tomatoes this year. That is the funny part. I was not going to grow any. But I still say, Mary Lynn, though, I have a good dozen long keepers that actually made it this year. I think I have 2 that aren't going to last. They're not red, but they're way too mushy. but the other ones are still pretty firm, and they're all kind of yellow color. I'll grab one. So for those of you who don't know, this is a long keeper tomato. Isn't it beautiful? And these I learned about from my friend Mary Lynn at Little Homestead on the Beach. These you harvest now and you pick them when they're green and let them start changing color in the house. These, she ate her last one last year in April, like fresh. So last year I didn't have any that made it. This year I have quite a few. Like I said, I have about 12. So we're really curious to see how long they're going to last. This one's still pretty firm, but it's just starting to get a little bit of red on it. But I've got 12 of them. They're mostly this size. So I'm pretty happy with them because last year was such a disaster with them. So I'd say I have 12. Yep, I definitely have 12. And some of the ones that got a little too ripe, I threw in the freezer. So I probably got about 20 this year out of, I planted like 10 plants and only 3 survived. So I'm going to count it a success. I'm pretty happy. So, and this is my Canada crookneck squash. Yes, I know it looks ridiculous. Let's just get past that, okay? But it's not as big as I would hoped. There's 2 more out there that are a little bit bigger, but I think I'm going to have to pick them sooner than later. I don't even know if they're really, there's tons of flowers, which is crazy because it's like you're all a little too late to be flowering. Yeah, I want to make squash soup with this. That's primarily what I'm going to do. These also last quite a long time too, storage. So I might keep one for storage, but yeah, they're all not, they're not as big as I had hoped. But again, it's my first year growing them. So I think any of them that I get are going to be a success. So I still got tomatoes to harvest. Love for you. It's the best. It's so much easier. Good morning, Karen. Thanks for dropping in. I slept in from last spring in my chest freezer and we have a heat mark. That was like me with elderberries. I used up a whole bunch of my elderberries from last year that I had frozen. I made another big batch of elderberry syrup yesterday because we're going through it. Aiden was sick the last few days, so he's been taking it a little bit more often. That's what today's video is, elderberry syrup. That's coming out at 2:00 today. And then I thought I'd gotten through all my tomatoes this past January. And didn't I find another bag of tomatoes during the Every Bit Counts challenge that were in my freezer from last year? So that was pretty funny. So how is the best way to store long keeper tomatoes? Mary Lynn just has hers on a shelf. And I think in the dark, I'm not pretty sure. I don't know if she's still here or not, or if she can answer, but I think she just has them up on a shelf. So yeah, they'll stay very, 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 very red. It should stay about that color. Okay. So, but they'll turn redder eventually, I'm assuming, because the one that I had to put in the freezer bag was really red. Yep. That's what Mary Lynn said. Harvest them green. I'm just going to leave that there, Darren. Okay, there we go. Harvest them green, keep at room temperature. I put them on a shelf so I can see them and remove the bad ones fast. There you go. Wow, ours is October 7th, according to the Farmer's Almanac for us. So we will see. They go red outside, but inside they stop at orangish. Okay, good. So if I cut one open and it's not red, I won't be panicked. I'm just curious. I want to be trying, especially during the pantry challenge in January, if we need fresh tomatoes for something, to think I'll have them with, as part of the pantry challenge. So that would be great. That would be cool. Oh, you have one. I really thought we got one last night because it got pretty cold here. I can't believe, because when I got up, like I said, it was already 34 Fahrenheit. And I'm like, gosh, how cold did it get last night? So, and it's only supposed to get up to like 67 today, which is why I have a sweater on, because I'll be heading out to the garden soon. So I love the fall weather. Like this is, I like being able to have just like a sweater on or whatever and not be so hot. So I'm looking forward to that. And we've had the fireplace on the last couple of mornings because it's been a little chilly, and I'm glad to turn off the central air. the dry, that was give me a break before we have to start turning on the heat. So me too. It is my favorite. Probably my birthday's in the fall. Grace's birthday's in the fall. I just love this whole time of year from now right through. Like, I love our Thanksgiving actually here in Canada is October. I think it's the 11th or the 12th this year. Nope, might be sooner than that. Maybe the 9th. So we get to start having our Thanksgiving in October. There's just all the holidays. I love it. So yeah, I think we got close to that. Yep, I was just going to say that. She has a post with a picture of how she has them all stored on her shelving. She's got quite the little, it looks like a little bunch of soldiers all lined up there. Marilyn had quite a few that did well this year. So definitely some failures again, but you always learn, right? From whatever, you always learn from your failures. David always says you don't learn from success, you learn from failures. You learn more from success, or sorry, he says you learn more from failures than you do success. And like I said, in the beginning, I am definitely going to be changing things next year, big time. Yeah, I have. Let me see if I can you all see that? That's my table. Obviously, there's some that are starting to redding up. They're not quite ripe yet, but there's still some green here, and my peppers and stuff. And I was keeping them all in boxes, but as I've been getting lower and lower on them, I can leave them here on the table. And I just check on them every couple of days and see who's ripe enough to throw into the freezer. I did about 5 peppers yesterday, cut them all up and got them in the freezer, and actually kept 2 out and used them with supper last night. We had loaded nachos last night. Oh man, they were good. They were really good. And I was able to use a couple fresh. So my peppers are not, again, they're not getting as big as I'd hoped. Certainly not as large as those ones I showed you during the Every Bit Counts challenge. Those things were massive. They were the size of like a cantaloupe. They were huge. And I saved quite a few seeds from them. I'm going to try growing them next year. I think next year I'm only going to grow 1 raised bed of bell peppers. Try and concentrate on just growing them larger, and not try to grow so many, and buying a lot more peppers from our farmers. So and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Yeah, they were good. My grandmother always used to do what I did, what she did. I put them in a box with a very ripe banana, and I closed the lid and I left them in there for a while. And then as they were ripening, I started bringing them out because they'll start going fast. But then I got tired of having the boxes everywhere. So as I've been getting lower, I've just been leaving them on the table. They take a little longer to ripen than in the box, but they're still ripening pretty quickly. So yeah, I did a paper bag. I tried that way. I tried a box. Uncovered, like I tried a bunch of different ways this year just to see what worked better, and they pretty much all worked the same. The paper bag with the banana worked, the box with the banana worked, the box with the flaps open worked. Like they'll pretty much start ripening. So yeah, I'm going out today. As soon as this live is over, I'm going to go harvest all my yellow beans that are ready. I took a quick peek last night when we were taking the dogs for a walk, and I saw they had quite a few in there. So, yep, paper bag works too. I just had the little black, remember the brown lunch bags you used to put took your lunch to school in, the little brown paper bags. That's all I had. So I had like 10 of them going at one point because I didn't hold a lot. So yep, I had some on the kitchen windowsill. I tried all kinds. I kept some in the dark. I kept some in the sun. Honestly, they all seem to go about the same time. So yes, there it is. I was just about to say it. Right there. But once they start, man, they go fast. You have to, like, Grace and I just put a bunch in the freezer on Monday, and I just put another Another freezer bag almost full today. Sorry, I had to take a drink. I got a little tickle. Yeah, of course, Aiden always gets a cold. Always, always, always goes back to school. He always gets it. And he's been taking elderberry syrup, and he feels great today. So it works. And then we all been taking a tablespoon just to make sure we don't get it. But he's actually in a class this year where he's peer counseling in math. So I'm like, well, those are all new grade niners who you've never been around before. So you've been subjected to all their germs. So it's no wonder. But of course, he runs outside too with track and everything, or cross country. But he's really enjoying the class. No one is more surprised than David and I that he even signed up for it, but he's really enjoying it. So he tries to come off all tough and everything, but inside that kid's just a big marshmallow. He doesn't want to say it. He wouldn't want me saying that, but it's true. So, but he is enjoying it quite a bit. So, well, I've been on for almost an hour. I'm surprised. I thought I'd just stay for a half hour, but so there will be no live this evening. As I said, very, very busy evening, crazy bananas. I gotta go I have one load of laundry ready to go on the line. I got another load that I gotta start in the washing machine. Busy, busy, busy. I got tons to do on my to-do list. I got 4 things done though before this live, so I'm so happy that that's done. And I think I'm gonna go can some yellow beans. I think I have enough between what's in the freezer and what's outside. I think I have enough to get at least one of my pressure canners full of some quarts of beans. So I am going to go get that done. Go pick all those beans, and you all have a fantastic rest of the week, a nice weekend. We're going to have some beautiful, beautiful weather here this week. We're hoping to go apple picking next weekend. So we are. Oh, and I just had to say real quick, I got my 50-pound bag of potatoes from our neighbor farmer last week, and how happy was I? And Sherry, you'll appreciate this. He grew Kennebec potatoes this year. I haven't had Kennebec potatoes since I got married and left Maine. I mean, I'm sure I ate them when I visited my parents because they were their favorite, but they're a Maine potato. And I was so excited. I got 50-pound bags of them, so I got to start canning them up too. But yeah, Kennebec potatoes, they are the best potatoes in the world. In the world. They're so good. And they tasted amazing. We had some with supper the other night. So yes, I was pretty excited. So I got a 50-pound bag of them for $25. Like, that's great. He doesn't do any pesticides or anything, and I am literally helping our neighbor. You're darn right I'm going to buy them from him instead of growing them myself. So you all have a great week, great weekend. Look for the video today. It's at 2:00. It's about elderberry syrup, and then, of course, Friday, Stock at September, week 4 video will be out. So take care, everybody. God bless. We'll talk to you soon.